Hello everyone and welcome back to your own channel Technical Sahil. In today's video we are going to see that how we can install and configure the MailCow mail server on our Ubuntu based Linux system. MailCow is a powerful and flexible mail server solution that simplifies the process of managing emails when it comes to a user-friendly web interface, supports multiple domains and integrates features like spam filtering, virus scanning and calendar services. MailCow is an open source, making it a great choice for both individuals as well as businesses looking to manage their own email infrastructure efficiently. Before we dive into the installation process, let's talk about the prerequisites, or you can say the requirements for setting up the MailCow. You will need a server with at least 6 GB of RAM and sufficient storage space for this, and a domain name, and a VPS or a dedicated server with port 25 must be open. The server should have an IP address with a good reputation to ensure that emails are delivered directly to the recipient's primary boxes. For this, I have recommended some of the server providers like Contabo, OVH, OpenPort 25. So I have dropped the offers links in the article as well. So you can click and avail the offer which is available at the. In this video, I am going to use Namecheap as always for my domain provider and OpenPort 25 for the SMTP. I am using this because let me show you in a minute. If we go to the, I am using this domain, yeah, we got the server IP, and if we want to check the reputation of that IP, so we can visit this website MX Toolbox, and if we check, so you can see it's an absolutely clean IP. So whenever it's a matter of inbox delivery in the case of building an SMTP, make sure to always choose such provider who is providing this type of clean IP, because some providers providing the IP which are blacklisted either in the spam house or in the UCL protect, which causes the problems like in the spam house. Gmail can counter this as spam, as well as in the UCL protect 2 or 3. Hotmail or Outlook can create the problem sometimes to reach the inbox delivery. So make sure to select this type of server provider who is providing this type of IP. So I'm all set because in this article I have mentioned Contabo because at that time I had the Contabo server. So there's a method of managing reverse DNS in the Contabo panel section, but in this case, let me show you in a minute. When you select any server plan for buy, for example this one, when you click order now, here it will ask you for the host name. The host name which you will provide, like I have given the host name here, it will automatically pick up the reverse DNS of the same host name, and the root password you select would be your root password. So nothing to worry about the reverse DNS and host name when you are choosing this SMTP provider, because they will take care of that. So the rest of the things like the operating system, like we usually select from ordering server from any provider, like these are the available options. MTA, make sure whenever you have Ubuntu, so make sure to select postfix. Locations you can choose by your own. Panels, I don't think you need to select it from here, because when we get a raw server we can do these things by our own. So additional IP, this is the important thing. If you want, you can order some additional IPs. The best thing is that they automatically link that IP with your server, so you just need to assign the IP from your either your control panel or the send mail protocol which you are using from the terminal. You just need to assign the IP to the particular user. So you can order as many IP as you want. It's charging $4 per IP. Console, I don't think, because we have done many of the videos on Power MTA, we have done postal I read mail, so I don't think you need to choose them for console, but still it's up to you. These are also the things like they are adding some add-ons basically like managed service, spam monitoring, IP reputation defender, email list where you can choose by your if your budget allows you want the max work as done as automated by them. So you can choose the things from here, but I am the manual worker, so I just need a basic server. Rest are the things I can do, even I can teach you how you can do it. So we don't need these type of things, we just need to select some settings above, and when we do, we got a server like this. And in such case, if you are choosing the same provider, you can skip the steps of reverse DNS. You simply need to add the DNS records. Your server IP, let me copy the server IP from here. It says first record. Let me delete first these two records. The second record is cname auto discover. Host auto discover. Now it is asking for the username, the host name, like this. Same thing, cname record, same host name as value, but this time it's auto config. After that, click save changes. We have done the DNS part. Now we need to update the MX record. So for this also, we need to copy the same hostname, mx at the rate priority 10. Okay. If you are using the Namecheap, you simply need to follow the steps same by same. If you're choosing GoDaddy, there is a slight difference between the, because GoDaddy provides the MX setting also in the this section, but in Namecheap you need to scroll a bit like I did. It's no email service, email forwarding. You need to select custom MX, and here type at the rate. In the value, type the same value as your hostname. In priority, make sure to type 10 and don't change this, and click save changes. Hostname part we have also did when we choose this, because whatever you type in the hostname, it will automatically add. Let me show you while login. The IP we need to copy first. That's my server root password, which I set when I was creating deploying the server. Username is of course root. Password we have already copied. Now if I show you the host name, you can see it has already picked up the host name which we set there. So we can also skip the part if you are going with the same provider. For Contabo or any other provider, I have mentioned the steps. The next thing is we need to update the pre-installed system packages that come with the system whenever we deploy a new server. For this, we need to run this command. The next thing is we need to install this CA certificates dependencies. Now we need to create a directory inside the etc/apt. And we need to download the Docker file first inside the directory which we have just created. we need to set the permissions so that it can execute in an administrative way. Now we need to add this into the Docker package manager. We again need to update the system packages because we have done some modifications in the default settings. And now we need to install the Docker components. Type Y and press enter. Next is we can check the Docker installation. It's completely optional, but it's good to check the configurations which we have done previously. Yes, we are getting the output like this. That means till now we did everything right. The next is we need to install the Docker Compose by cloning this Git repository from their officials. We also need to set the permission to the bash file so that it can execute in the administrative way. Now we can check the Docker Compose version. This is also optional. This is just for the version we are getting if it is important to know. And also it can check the configuration also, confirm that we done the step by step exact same. So yeah, this is the Docker Compose version. It's not visible, it's a very small image, very small height, so you will get this output as well if you zoom out. The next is we need to install the Git because we need to clone some repositories in the future. So Git installed, it was already installed. The next is we need to visit this directory. We need to change from the root directory to opt. Next we need to clone this into that directory. And we need to change directory inside the opt inside the MailCow dockerized. And we need to generate the config file by running this bash file. It's asking us for the host name, fully qualified domain name, which is, I will copy the same. Time zone, I am from India, so Asia, Kolkata. Yes, master branch, type Y and press enter. Detecting if your IP is listed on the spam house. No, it is not listed. We have already checked. So it is. Your IP is clean. It's also given in the article. If you get confused a bit in any of the step, you can follow this article. It's mentioned the screenshot as well. The IP is clean. Also, some recommended providers I recommended there. I have attached their links with the offers you can avail by clicking on any of the link. So rest is we need to run this command docker compose pull to pull out the libraries from the configuration file. Guys, I'll also drop the article link in the description of this video with the recommended providers I use, and I suggest you to go with the same. So if you wish to check out all these, you can simply click on the links mentioned in the description of this video. Next is we need to start this MailCow Dockerized services. If everything is perfect, then it will show us the complete green signals. Yeah, everything is started and we did not get any problem in any of the volume or container. So we need to wait for a while. It's done. Now we need to check the firewall status. It's important because if the firewall is not installed, so we first need to install it for the security reasons, and we need to allow some SMTP ports in the firewall. Like it will allow our ports to enter, but except our ports does not allow any other port to enter in the server, into the server. So yes, firewall is activated, and 99.9% of times when you are taking the server from any reputed provider, the firewall status would be active. Now we need to run these commands to allow the all the incoming or outgoing ports of email. First we need to press the Ctrl C to end this and run this command. Yeah, the rules are updated. Here I also mentioned the breakdown of all the ports, like which post is for what use, so you can read in case if you wish to. Otherwise the MailCow has been installed. Now we simply need to log into our this dashboard. Like if we copy this URL, it's the interface. Username, by default username is admin, and this is the password. You can also change this configuration settings, which I'll show you. First of all, let's copy this password because it's kind of complex. Admin we can type. click login. Now here we can save. Now in the systems configurations, we can change the admin username or password from here, means all the administrative details. We can also enable the two-factor authentication from here, and we can also do the some fingerprint or biometric settings login from here, but I don't think this type of advanced login you need for just the SMTP, but rest it's your choice. If you wish, you can do it from here. The next is we need to add the domain, and for this we again need to visit the configuration, and from here allow me a 2 minutes to find the domain because it has changed a bit. This is the domain administrator, not a domain. So yeah, configuration inside the email, they have changed a bit their interface, because earlier that was not the exact interface. But yeah, the email settings, in fact it is good. They have categorized the system settings from here, the email settings from there. Earlier it was only configuration, from where we need to manage the administrative settings as well as the email settings. So for email configuration, either adding domain or email user, we need to visit this section, this configuration, and from here we can add a domain. The domain name, I am using the same domain name, and the description, if we wish, we can provide. The template is also default. These are some of the important settings, like max possible aliases, that means the email aliases which we can max allow in this particular domain. Similarly, the email box means the email users account we possibly allow for this particular domain. The quota per user, like the default mailbox quota, so we can define the overall, means the per, it is not the per email, it is the default mailbox space. Like if we define the 1 GB here, so that means 1 GB we have for these 10 accounts. And max quota per mailbox, that's the thing. Like it's not systematic, because it's like this is the less as compared to this, but it's okay. Like generally in the cPanel we set unlimited, that does not mean the unlimited. So we need to get an idea, like what the resources we are looking for, and the space accordingly we have, we can adjust these settings. Right now I'm going with the default. This is the very important settings. Like if you disabled it, does not define, it will utilize the max resources of the SMTP you get from the provider to send the unlimited messages per seconds or per emails. But if you want to define any limit, like you are giving access to someone else, your server, but used by someone else, so you can definitely define a limit. Like uh, you have contacted with that person, like you can send these emails at particular this seconds or minutes, so you can define it from here. DKIM selector, we are going with, yeah, DKIM selector default, and this is the key length. It's always good for security purposes to select this bits 2048, but if you want some fast performance by compromising the security of your email authentication, which can lead to email spoofing or some kind of things in further, you can choose this bits, but it's good if you conscious about the security. So select this relay option. You can relay this domain, means it's there, but you are using these credentials to integrate into the another server, and another server is sending the emails from this server. So these options might be confusing for you a bit, so that's why I'm not deeply explaining it or deeply setting up. I'm going with all everything default. So I'm going with add domain only. The domain has been added. Now we simply need to go to the mailboxes, and here we need to add a mailbox. Username, left part of your email address. Very good explanation. This is the first time I have seen username someone explained like this is before the at the rate. So that's good thing they have explained. The username, I'll set my name Sahil, and the full name is Sahil Dhamija, my name. Password we can generate from here, strong password. Yeah, this one. That's good. Next are the settings like we can define the max quota we have, which we set there while adding the domain. So now we have an option like we can define the limit. 0 means unlimited, which is literally we know that we can't use more than this. So but if we want to define any specific thing, any specific amount of space, we can define in the MBs, means in GB, like it is 10 GB, so it has defined this way, MIB. So we can also define in the MB. Quarantine notifications, these are some optional settings. SMTP, yes, we also need SMTP, which we will see in the later. Also we can define the same thing here, like if we want to define any sending limit, we can do it from here for this particular email user. But right now I am just clicking, I'm just going with all default and click add. We have also added the mailbox. Now the thing is we can simply log in, but I want to add some DKIM and DMARC records for this first, so that it will propagate in the meantime we are creating the SMTP credentials. For this we need to visit this thing. SPF you can copy as it is SPF. Either you can generate it SPF records from my website, and they are also providing some useful tools for the email marketing. So you can also uh, use these tools to either generate your things, but this will also do the work for now in this case. So add a new record, txt at the rate, and paste the value here which we have just copied. Next is DMARC. We need to copy this value as it is. Don't include these quotes, just copy between under these quotes. So add a record, same txt, DMARC, and paste it here. Make sure to change your domain email, like campaign and .com. One more, I think we need to change. No, it's fine. So click save changes. Let me double check it. Yeah, nothing to change, just here. The next thing is DKIM. We need to copy the format from here, because if the selector you have changed in the MailCow, so you can't use this selector, you need to use that selector which you have modified. So click txt and paste this value. Now it's asking for the DKIM key, which I'll show you from where you get. But before this, let me paste it in a notepad first. Replace your DKIM keys, I have also guided in the article, but let me show you. If the settings does not change, so we find the options, options ARC DKIM. Yeah, that's a DKIM key you need to replace. Basically you can replace this entire record, and with this, that's the same thing till that P, and rest is the key. So you can paste copy this entire record instead of getting the format from the article and replacing the key, because if one character does not copy it or paste properly, it won't allow you to get verified the domain key. So click save changes. Now in the meantime it's propagating, let's create the SMTP credentials. For SMTP, I guess, yeah, SMTP has been enabled. Now we simply need to visit this website for check. And we also need to open another website. Now here SMTP host is mail dot, let me copy this entire host name. Port is 587. Use secure connection, use the authentication. Email we have just created like sahil@campaign.com. That's the password which we have set. Email from, I will copy the same email and provide it here. Email to, we need to send the email to this so that it will also check and tell us the inbox delivery status of our SMTP. Click send. Mail sent successfully. Now if we check, we are getting 10 on 10. And seriously, if we get such IP like this, so no one can stop us to get a 10 on 10, the inbox delivery. So that's the main thing. That's the, if you are following this article, the MailCow interface a bit changed in the recent time. So maybe you find any difficulty in the option which is defined here, and here it's not. So but the, it's not changing the entire thing. Some options are where and there you can find, like I did while creating the video. I also find some options because it seems also to me a bit new interface. So but you can find the options. In fact, when you are get familiar with this new interface, you will get familiarized and it's properly categorized functions, you will notice that. So that's the whole thing I have explained in the video. I hope you like it. So that's all for today's video, and thank you so much for watching it till the end.